What's good, y'all? It's your host, Kios the Ronin Beatmaker. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And on this episode, we're going to discuss the Palmerston Island, how one man populated a desert island paradise. The Gilligan's Island story we all wanted as a young. Let's get into it. The article updated March 22nd, 2019. Populating Palmerston Island. One man, three wives, and a desert island paradise. Palmerston Island is part of the Cook Islands in the South Pacific Ocean. This island is one of six main islands located on the Coral Atoll and is only one that is inhabited. One of the most isolated places on Earth, and almost all of its inhabitants today are related to each other, as they are descendants from one Englishman who settled there about 150 years ago. Where is the Palmerston Island? Palmerston Island is situated on a coral atoll known as the Palmerston Atoll, which is a coral reef enclosing a lagoon. For my book junkies out there, I highly recommend you check out the book, The Sagrasso Sea. You will not be disappointed. Here we have a map showing the location of the island. Here is Palmerston, which is depopulated. The closest place to Palmerston Island is that it has a significant population is Rototongo, the most populous of the Cook Islands. Rototongo is located about 500 kilometers. It takes 2 days of sailing to get from one island to the other. Nevertheless, ships between two are far and between, meaning that one may have to wait several months before a ship comes along. Sailing seems to be the only way to get to the Palmerston Island, as it is too far from anywhere for normal helicopter to fly to, and the area is not conducive for seaplanes to land. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely an island paradise. Impossible to arrive to, but easy to leave. When was the Palmerston Island discovered? The Palmerston Island was first discovered in 1774 by Captain James Cook during his second voyage. It was, however, only 3 years later, on the 13th of April 1777, during this third voyage, that Cook set foot on Palmerston Island. After Cook left, and here is a photo of Captain here, cousin of George Washington. After Cook left, the Palmerston was left untouched for about 80 years. On the 8th of July, 1863, an Englishman by the name of William Masters, a corrupted form of Masters, arrived on Palmerston. He was so charmed by its beauty that he decided to settle there permanently. In 1863, the island belonged to a British merchant by the name of John Brander, and Masters was hired to work as the island's caretaker. Masters settles Palmerston Island. Masters was born in Lancaster around 1831 and had been either a laborer or a carpenter or a barrel maker before going to Palmerston Island. Where Masters set foot on the island, he brought his three wives with him. One of them was Akakaningaro, known as Sarah, the daughter of a Cook Island chief, while the other two were his cousins. Little Game of Thrones. Today, there are three families living on the Palmerston Island, each being descended from one of Masters' three wives. Now, I'm not sure if this is a photo of the women or just a photo of women of that era that dressed during the time in the South Pacific Islands. So that one we can leave up to speculation. When Masters first landed on the Palmerston Island, it was uninhabited, so he had to build everything from scratch. Using shipwreck timber and driftwood, Masters built a house for his family, which is still standing today, though it is now used for storage and as a cyclone shelter. Later on, a church, a school, and more houses were built. As caretaker of the island, Masters was to plant, tend to, and harvest coconut trees. Every 6 months, Brander would send a ship to the island and supplies and food. In return, Masters would give the merchant coconut oil. That sounds like a good life. He's living the life that any man would dream of. The fight for the Palmerston Island. In 1888, Brander died and Masters laid claim to the Palmerston Island. This was contested by George Darcy, a relative of Brander who laid his claim to the basis of inheritance through bloodline. On the 23rd of May, 1891, Palmerston Island was formally annexed by the British Empire, and after a long war of words with Darcy, Masters was eventually granted a 21-year lease on the island. Eventually, Masters' descendants were granted full ownership of the Palmerston Island in 1954 when the New Zealand Parliament passed an amendment to the Cook Islands Act. And here we have a photograph of William Masters, looking all chummy and happy, living the life, a free man, his 3 wives. Not even gonna lie, I'm jealous. Masters himself died on the 22nd of May, 1899, of malnutrition after his coconut trees were destroyed by blight. Nevertheless, before his death, he was able to divide the island into 3 parts, one for each of his wives and descendants. According to records, by the time of his death, Masters had 17 children and 54 grandchildren. Man, oh man. Our boy was living the dream. He was living the dream. I mean, look how happy he is. Look at that face. Look how chummy he is. He knows he's living the dream. He know he won the lottery in life. He knows it. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Really, it truly is. Shout out to William Masters, the man, the myth, the legend. Now that's the real Gilligan's Island that every man has dreamed of. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Lounge Ronin. All things, everything. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And leave a comment with your thoughts below. If you're a man, would this be your ideal life dream? And if you're a woman, would you be up to being the wife of a man on a desert paradise island of 3? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And until next time, stay positive, stay focused, stay true, and much love.